Now, Paul, please tell me, have I got malt loaf between my teeth?
No.
Good, we just had some malt loaf.
We have.
Not homemade.
No.
Highly processed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Highly processed with a highly processed spread on it as well. Yeah,
Ultra high processed.
Ultra highly processed food. Just eat anything. I saw a video the other day, and there was this woman. She said, "There's so many things that people think are good for them. Spinach is not good for you. Almonds are not good for you. These things were not meant to be eaten by humans. We're not squirrels."
Well, what was she proposing we eat?
I have no idea, but
You didn't get that
no, because
far.
I scrolled past because I thought, oh, off. I mean, this is a thing to talk about. There's so much misinformation going around.
I was at the
And the challenge is decades and decades worth of science that, talks about how the body works, how the body absorbs food, how it takes in the nutrients, the type of nutrients that we should be having in our diet that does X, Y, and Z, that interacts with the body in this way. This is decades worth of science, And then some woman says, "You can't eat almonds, they're not good for you. Don't eat spinach, it'll kill you." I mean, give me a break. If you were a scientist in a laboratory with decades worth of studies behind you, then yes, fine, I'm going to listen to you. And yes, there is new information coming out all the time. I agree with that. But don't eat almonds, they're going to kill you. I mean, really.
I was at the plot and someone said this morning, "Oh yes, I've got whitefly, so I'm going to spray them.
Whitefly.
I'm going to spray them with vinegar." And I went, "Why?" "Well, I saw on TikTok that if you spray with vinegar,
isn't that going to kill the plant?
It'll kill the plant, and it will possibly change the acidity of the soil
it's an
as
acid.
well.
It's acetic acid,
And it will harm the tardigrades and worms and other creatures in the soil." Just insane, and that's simply because I think some people have used it as a weed killer, which I wouldn't suggest you do. And and then you could, if it's like concrete or something,
yes,
you're not going to
like
affect
a patio.
it. Yeah, you're not going to affect, your slabs and things. But we're talking about living things here.
Yeah, and change the ecology,
absolutely.
The structure of the soil and the ecosystem.
Yeah, it's insane, and there is so much rubbish.
Anyway, Paul,
Sunday chat.
That's right. Well,
talking about rubbish.
Yes. Welcome to our little tiny channel and our little tiny show, the best kept secret on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere, in fact.
Welcome.
And in the universe.
You're in an exclusive club.
And multi-universes as well. The Paraverse, was that? I saw that. Paraverse.
Paraverse, what's this now?
It's where there's lots of parallel universes that are in a bubble. Well, that's what I thought, yeah, but it was like the Paraverse. And it was like...
Well, there are supposedly parallel dimensions.
Yes.
Up to 11.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
What, the age 11?
No, up to 11 dimensions in one way of thinking, in one theory.
Why 11?
I don't know. There is a reason. And some of those dimensions are supposedly folded up.
Yeah. And some twist through each other as well. Yeah.
I love all of that.
I love all of that, but yeah, the Paraverse is made up of multi-verses of parallel universes.
Well, the woman who thinks almonds are going to kill you, she's living in a parallel universe. That's how.
Yeah, honestly. Really? I mean, almonds, they take up a huge amount of water and nutrients when they grow. They are a very water-dense crop in terms of
So
harvest.
we probably shouldn't be eating them anyway.
Well, eat them in moderation. You know, almond milk. I'm not a great fan of almond milk. Anyway, I'm not. I'm not a great fan of almond milk. I prefer oat milk. You know. Yeah. Hemp. Somebody suggested hemp
We
milk.
tried hemp milk. We
Yeah.
made it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't. No.
No.
Anyway.
So
yes.
anyway, let's get on with the show.
Yes,
welcome,
yeah.
welcome, bloody welcome.
Half an hour in. Yeah.
And we usually kick off with Ratchet and Paul's weather report. It's called again.
Blanket of grey.
Blanket of grey. Grey blanket of
Cold.
grey. Cold.
Cold.
Blanket. Grey.
So there we are. Yeah, that's it. And it looks as though
Yes, but it did get warmer. Last week was positively spring-like.
it was balmy.
It was lovely.
Balmy.
I think we got up to regular 15 degrees in the house instead of the usual 11 or 12.
Yeah, I think we
Which
did.
we've got used to now.
We
do
have.
get used to
Yeah,
it.
I've got a thermal, long sleeve t-shirt, shirt, and 4 inches of fat.
Yes.
So I'm sort of okay. Yeah. You're supposed to say, no, you're not. You're looking incredibly slim, even though you're not. Yeah.
I don't lie.
No, and the camera doesn't either.
No.
I was looking at myself doing a segment for Week at the Plot this week, and I thought, is this on wide angle? And then I realised it wasn't.
What, did you think you were distorted?
Yes, I thought I was sort of wider than
Maybe
normal.
you've got
but,
body dysmorphia, Paul.
yeah, but the other way. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
So
So
yes.
the next week looks as though it's going to be similar. Yeah.
Oh, we've got tea.
We do have
Now,
tea.
what have I got? What have you given me, Paul? You've given me a berry tea this time.
I have. I've given you very berry.
Morning
I think.
berry.
Morning berry. There we are. Thank you, Courtney and Dave.
Oh, it smells very berry.
Very berry. As long as it doesn't smell Mary berry, that's okay. What have
I don't want to smell
I've got-
anybody, thank you.
I've got matcha something. Something. I've got.
It's sort of
Does it say
slightly
on
black
it?
curranty.
Well, that will be the berry. Supreme matcha green. I must say, I do like these. These are really, really nice ones. Sometimes you get things and they taste so...
Well, we
Fake.
went through a phase of having the celestial seasonings.
Celestial seasonings, which you get in the US.
The orange zinger, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Did
That
it
was
have the
fantastic.
tiger on it? There was one with the
The
tiger
boxes
on it
were
as well.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Excuse us while we take our
It is
tea.
rather lovely. When I used to go to New York regularly when I was like late 90s, I would come back with sort of 6 or 8 boxes in the bag, wouldn't I? And they are Celestial Seasonings. I'm not sure if they're still going, but
Oh, I'm sure
they
they
used
are.
to be lovely.
I'm sure they
Absolutely lovely.
Anywho, so to finish off the weather segment,
I thought I'd done that.
well, not very well. It's getting colder again. It's getting colder. It's feeling very damp as well, I've noticed. Very sort of...
Moist.
Moist.
Moist. Yeah.
So that's it for the weather.
Yeah. Moist and cold.
More's the pity. So let's see what's on the agenda for this week's chat.
I had somebody else say agenda this week.
Agenda.
Yeah.
Another one.
Another one, yeah.
Well, one thing to mention on temperature, at least it's not minus 62 degrees like in Siberia, where the person whose video I was watching on YouTube earlier today was quite interesting. It was about how they heat their homes in Siberia.
At minus 62.
Yes. So some buildings have like a centralised communal central heating system, and the pipes come from a boiler house above ground because they can't dig into the ground to lay pipes because of the permafrost. that's always there, hence being called permafrost. I know about the permafrost. It's nothing new to me. It's not my first time at the rodeo. So it was interesting because she was saying, you know, and if the insulation from the pipes breaks down or falls off, then it lets a lot of heat out. And she was showing the temperatures of various areas of these pipes. But then she said, but we have our own boiler in our apartment, because some apartments have their own boilers.
Like we do.
Yeah. And she said we've got, I think she said 3 radiators in their small apartment, 2 bedrooms and a lounge kitchen. And she said their apartment stays a lovely 25 degrees. Yeah? Guess how much she pays per month for her gas in Siberia?
50 quid.
The equivalent of $8 a month.
That's like 5 quid.
$8. $8 in Siberia.
Oh dear.
And we in the UK pay upwards of 150 quid a month.
Yeah, it would be like £200 this month for gas. Yeah. For gas, yeah. Hey ho, hey
Let's
ho.
go and live in Siberia.
When I went to Berlin, which I travelled to Berlin a few times over a couple of months, years ago, at the beginning of the 2000s. Some of the streets there, because they had communal heating in East Berlin, and some of the streets there you could see the piping going above ground. And I didn't understand why they had piping above ground and below ground, but I never found out. Maybe someone can tell me. Maybe I can do a Google.
Well, it's weird, isn't it, when you see countries that have all the electricity cables above ground.
Well, we do.
We don't.
Well, we have.
Not in towns.
No. But we have the big network.
But look at Bali.
Oh yeah, Bali.
Cables
yeah, no,
everywhere.
absolutely. The
Everywhere.
Cable,
Nothing is below ground.
No. Well, of course, the thing with them being below ground is if something goes wrong,
Yeah, but ours
you've
are
got
below
to.
ground.
Well, ours go through ducting though, don't they? They go through some like pipes and things.
The only thing that's above ground is the old telephone wires, which are defunct in most cases now.
Yeah,
aren't they?
we actually don't have a landline telephone.
We don't have a landline, and I think that is a mistake.
Yeah, I think it is.
A real mistake.
But the reason we don't have one is because our provider has gone over to VoIP, voice over internet protocol, completely. So basically, in order to get a phone line, we have to plug into our internet, and they supplied a cable that was about that long.
And I don't want the phone by the television.
No. So we don't have one. No, but we still pay for
not.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But it's a mistake because when the apocalypse comes...
Yeah, next Tuesday. No, Monday, isn't it? Monday. Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to get in touch with each other because everything's going to go down.
Yeah.
I think it's,
There we are.
Hey-ho.
There we are.
So, in the news this week, well, of course, the major news...
Have we finished with the weather?
Goodbye. The major news at the beginning of this week was the fires in LA.
Yeah.
And, I read an article or some comment that somebody had made on some story, and it said something along the lines of, oh, well, they're all rich anyway, they can afford to rebuild. And no. There are plenty of people in LA who don't have any money. And some people who have lost absolutely everything. Talking about apocalyptic.
Yeah, that has been. Yeah.
And then you get these idiot, whatever they're called, people on the internet.
Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, there was one the other day. I saw this video go past, and he was saying, well, I've driven around and I can't see any fires. Well, you're obviously not in a place where the fires are. You know, I haven't seen any smoke either. Da 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 da. There's nothing going. Why? Blah, blah. I mean, really, the internet is getting out of control.
Well, I think it is.
It's like the Wild West out there.
You know, when it came out that Zuckerberg decided this week that he's going to stop fact-checking Facebook and is getting rid of a whole load of fact-checkers, I mean, it's just, I think it was last week actually, it's just insane, you know, because it already on my personal Facebook timeline, I'm being bombarded with things that are of no relevance. I mean, actually,
it never used to be like that.
It didn't. It
used
Everything
to be just
was
your
relevant.
friends.
It was your friends. It was those people that you were engaging with. And now I get a few. I mean, there was a post that came up from a family member the other day, one of your family, and it said, "Would you like to see more of so and so's posts?" And it's like, well, actually, they're a friend of mine, so I want to see all of them. So you're now telling me that you haven't been showing me all of them. And I think, really, with Facebook, other than Planet Vegetaria, which is our Facebook group, apart from that, I'm sort of done with Facebook, I think. Have to use it for our sake and Great Green Barn and things like that, but I'm sort of done with Facebook now. Certainly personally, I see maybe 5 or 6 posts a day that are relevant to the people that I actually follow.
You're right.
So, yeah.
Alright, they get the picture. God, honestly.
Yeah, and you know, let's face it, at the moment, fact checkers are something that we need more and more and more and more and more of, particularly with what's going on and happening next week. So, you know, yeah, anyway, there we are.
Anywho, so my point was about LA and the fires, you know. We hope that nobody who follows us has been affected by it. I don't know whether we've got any viewers in LA or not. I don't know. But, you know, when anything like that happens, I always try and see it from the point of view of the people who've lost everything and how that would feel to me. You know, that is devastating in the truest sense of the word. You know, this is a disaster for people. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it because we didn't mention it last week, and it had all sort of started last week. And yeah.
And of course, it's a natural thing, isn't it? Well, I know there are a lot of conspiracies, and I know some people have been caught setting fires.
Yes.
But generally, it's been a natural thing. It's not been something that has been decided to happen with throwing bombs at other people.
Well,
and
no,
blah, blah,
I know.
blah.
There are areas that are prone to fires, and there are some areas where fire is vitally important.
Absolutely.
For the whole the structure of the ecosystem. So, you know.
I mean, sequoias are, you know, they survive. I mean, there are many forests, particularly sort of going back into sort of ancient times, many forests that needed that fire regularly to be able to refresh itself.
But there are also
But of course,
plants.
we're also now living in those areas. You know, we've decided that those areas are really nice to live in, so we build houses there.
It can happen. It happened in the UK a couple of years ago.
Absolutely,
a whole village was destroyed.
Yeah.
And in fact, somebody we know lived in that village.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, I mean, anywho, in the news as well, Dame Joan Plowright has died.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was sad. She was the widow of Sir Laurence Olivier. Yeah. She was.
I mean,
she was great. She was
quite feisty.
Unique.
She was also rather kind-hearted as well.
And she had a lovely sense of comic timing.
She did, and she had a lovely voice. I mean, a lot of those, you know, all of those people of that time, they really had quite nice voices.
They had distinctive voices.
Yeah.
That was the trademark. Unlike today, where everybody sounds the same and looks the same.
Yeah.
Really.
Particularly with auto-tune and things.
Oh, please.
We did see Juliet Mills. She was on a episode of Heart to Heart we were watching. And I was watching her and I was thinking, I'm sure I know her. And she's the sister of Hayley Mills, which, maybe Hayley Mills is a bit more famous. And then I realised that she was Juliet Mills, the reason I remembered her was from Carry On Dick. She was Jack, I think, in Carry On Dick, and it was quite nice to see her, really. Yeah.
She's got a very similar voice to Hayley Mills.
Very, yeah.
Lovely. So, what else has been happening this week, Paul? You've been down to For Earth's Sake, and you wanted to talk about traffic.
Oh, yeah.
In relation to RHS Wisley.
Yeah.
Why, Paul? Why?
So I've mentioned this before, and it's one of the reasons I go a real roundabout route to get to For Earth's Sake or Great Green Barn. The A3 M25 interchange, it was decided for, I don't know what reason, because I never had issues there before, that interchange really needed to be rebuilt. And it's like a 3-year project. I don't go the M25 way anymore. I go a much more roundabout route. But that was because I was sitting on the motorway static in like 2 miles of traffic for an hour and a half on a regular basis. But I was reading that RHS Wisley is now looking at trying to get compensation from the government for loss of trade.
This is a botanic garden.
Yeah, it's a botanic garden that does huge amount of science work as well, and a huge amount of educational work. And they are down something like 300,000 visitors a year and have lost so far £6 million in turnover because people, and I'm one of the people, I'm part of the fruit group and I've not gone to the fruit group because I thought, oh God, I'm going to have to go through that interchange. Don't want to do that because I'll be there ages. People are not going in their numbers that they used to Wisley simply because of the traffic around the A3 and M25. And when I had to go on the M25 a couple of weeks ago For Earth's Sake, and coming off the M25 to go south on the A3, I thought what they were doing was a sort of spaghetti junction thing there where there aren't any traffic lights. But most of the exits are traffic light controlled, exactly like they used to be. So I really don't know what the benefit is. I thought that they were going to be like, fly-unders and flyovers, and you'd come off and you'd just carry on driving like at Spaghetti Junction. But no, there are going to be traffic lights there, and I just don't see the benefit.
And for those of you who don't know what Spaghetti Junction is, it's a crisscrossing mishmash of roads in the Midlands
Birmingham.
that were nicknamed Spaghetti Junction because it looked like a tangled mess of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who benefits.
Well, the builders benefit.
The contractors benefit.
Contractors benefit.
Somebody's done some deal for some work that ends up not being any better than before, but ends up benefiting a contractor. And
I think it's costing something like £400 million to do this junction.
I think the UK is known for this.
I think so.
There are so many dodgy deals going on that enable people to earn money for really no benefit to the public.
Well, look at the PPE scandal that we've got over here. I mean, people who've earned
corruption.
Hundreds of millions from goods that weren't fit for purpose.
I think there's corruption on many levels going on, Paul. I really do.
But yes, I went down to For Earth's Sake, and that was rather nice. And Gerald Dickens, who I'd worked with before, he's the great-great-grandson of Charles Dickens. Vanessa never met him, so we met there. He's coming to do a couple of shows at the Great Green Barn later in the year, one in May, one in November. so those will be good. But it was really nice to meet him again. I haven't sort of been in the same room with him for about 4 or 5 years, and we developed a very little known book that Dickens wrote for his children called The Life of Our Lord. We developed that into a play with the renowned screenwriter and playwright Geoffrey Hatcher and a client of mine in Minneapolis, and we're looking at possibly doing that in 2026. It's very different to the book because it's about how the book may have been written.
So what's the show at the Great Green Barn going to be?
Well, we're going to have The Signalman. He's doing a one-man show of The Signalman, which I'm really excited about. And we've also got, what have we got? Hello, Mr. Dickens, and I can't remember the other one in May. I haven't put it on sale yet, so I haven't done all the copy, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that was lovely. Yeah. And coming back, the traffic wasn't too bad till I got local, and it was pretty bad locally.
But you got home and I'd made dinner.
You had.
What had I made?
I
think I made a chilli that night.
You made a chilli, yes, that was right. Yeah.
Because I made a cauliflower cheese the night after.
A very, very fattening cauliflower cheese.
It was a delicious cauliflower cheese.
It was delicious.
I think you'll find.
With
Wasn't
chips,
that fattening?
With chips.
Homemade chips.
Yeah, homemade
They were
chips.
delicious.
They were delicious.
I'm good at doing homemade oven chips.
Well, it depends.
What's my secret? That would be telling.
Well, shall I tell you my secret?
My secret is plenty of olive oil and a very high temperature oven.
My secret...
And you turn them after 15 minutes.
My secret...
And you make sure you bake them for at least 35 minutes.
My secret is to make sure that you buy the right potatoes, which are drier in content. So many salad potatoes and sort of general white potatoes, which are good for mashing and good for boiling, they're not necessarily good for putting in the oven. So I got some that were particularly good for roasting.
But needed quite a bit of peeling. I don't talk like that. Well, it's time for Word of the Week.
Why did you peel them?
I had to because there were all sorts of little black bits all over them. Scabby black bit, little eyes looking at me.
He is terrible.
Well, I had to.
Yeah.
Right, are we ready? Word of the Week.
Word of the Week.
This is taken from A Word for Every Day of the Year by Stephen Poole.
I think we should start getting a sort of like little royalty.
Oh, I think so. Well, I like to say who the author is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just in case. Okay, so the word is bafflegab.
Oh.
Bafflegab. B-A-F-F for Freddie. L-E-G-A-B. Bafflegab.
Confusing speech. It must be.
Yeah, basically. That was easy. Lovely. So, it's time for the final segment of the show, which is, what have we watched on television this week? So, first of all, we watched Sweets and Treats We Loved and Lost, Channel 5. This is one of those programmes, you know, like the supermarket of the 70s or food from the 70s. And this was basically about sweets and treats.
Yeah.
So crisps, chocolates, sweets, candies, as you might call them in the States. And the ones that have been phased out and have gone. Or have changed in some way.
Yeah. And it was...
I mean, there were plenty of things that are still available now. You can still get curly whirlies.
Yeah, you can. They're much smaller, but you can. But it was interesting. So it's lots of celebrities talking about their favourite memories of sweets and things, and every single one that we went through, Rich went, "Oh yeah, I used to like those." Every single one, "Oh yeah, I used to like those."
I
think you just ate them all, didn't you?
I as a child, I had an absolute love of sweets. I still do, but I don't have that many.
There's no more boxes of Lindor in the house, though, are there, Richard?
Well, no. I mean, but it's been the festive period, Paul.
Which has gone on for about 4 weeks, on festivity.
But you can't let them go off.
Yeah. Lindor's not just for Christmas. No.
So, I mean, literally all of the sweets, even the little penny chews and all.
Blackjacks.
Oh, yeah.
Blackjacks.
But I preferred fruit salad.
Yeah, you see, I like the blackjacks. I like the blackjacks because they taste. I love aniseed, and they made your tongue black.
Space dust.
Yeah. Oh, and the Space Invader spaceships with the rice paper. Flying saucers and sherbet in them. Yeah, I remember those.
Sherbet fountain.
They didn't talk about the chocolate tools that you used to get. Do you remember those chocolate tools?
Probably because nobody actually liked them, because they were more like dog chocolate.
I quite like them.
But I would eat dog chocolate anyway.
Yeah. I quite like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite... And Rusty Lee was one of the...
It was the chocolate tools were the kind of chocolate that didn't emulsify in your mouth.
I think that's what I liked about them.
No, they were kind of slightly waxy, and when you tried to chew them, they sort of curdled.
It's a bit like American chocolate.
Yeah, it was cheap chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, I'm sorry to have a go at your chocolate, dear American friends. But I remember years ago, I think I was working at Ticketmaster, and one of my colleagues said, I'm going over to New York, I'm going to bring Hershey's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? And I was like, Hershey's? I don't understand what this means. She said, oh, you're going to love chocolate is Hershey's. You're going to love it. Oh, my God, Hershey's. Whoa. And she came back with these Hershey's Kisses. Little pointed sort of chocolates in foil. It was dog chocolate. It was dog chocolate.
I think there's more wax or something.
It was the most disgusting chocolate I have ever tasted in my life. Vile.
You see,
I wouldn't give them to my dog. I mean, you're not supposed to give chocolate to a dog.
No, you mustn't give chocolate.
But there is dog chocolate.
Yes, you can buy particular dog chocolate.
Well, Hershey's tasted like dog chocolate. I know, I've eaten dog chocolate.
I think the thing is, because America can get so hot, it's got a different sort of chocolate mixture that makes it melt less.
Is marketed to other countries with a different formula.
Exactly, so that it doesn't melt.
Yeah.
So
we have the pleasure of creamy chocolate in this country.
You like... is it dairy milk?
I like any chocolate.
Yeah, he likes any chocolate.
Cadbury's.
Oh, and Yorkie bars. Do you remember Yorkie bars?
Yorkies. But my favourite was biscuit and raisin in the purple wrapper.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spangles, Tutti Fruttis, bubble gum. I love bubble gum. I haven't had bubble gum for years, and I was good at blowing a bubble. I was.
Back in the day.
Gobstoppers.
Yeah, gobstoppers. Yeah, I love those.
Aniseed balls.
Oh yeah, they used to be great, and they had a little bit of aniseed in the middle of them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were nice. They were red and spicy. They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the licorice
sherbet
fountains.
Do you remember sherbet
which
dish-outs?
Apparently are now they're sort of tamper-proof and plastic. So yeah, dib dabs.
Sherbet with a lolly type thing.
No, I don't remember that.
You dabbed into your doodah with your la-la.
So it was a sherbet fountain with a dib dab.
With a lolly
type
thing.
Yeah. Oh yes, I sort of remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
They also talked about the traditional sweet shops that that's what sweet shops were like. Little tiny sort of traditional shop with a shopkeeper behind the counter and an array of jars everywhere.
With a big plastic coloured lid on
Chocolate
it.
bars at the front, penny sweets, and then all your speciality boiled sweets and bonbons and sherbets, rainbow sherbet.
Yeah, you remember them well, don't you, Richard?
Lemon.
And also, the wonderful thing about they used to like put 2 ounces in a bag, in a striped paper bag, and then spin it.
Yeah.
That was always like, oh, it's a treat.
And it would be a white paper bag.
Yeah, ours had stripes.
Yeah, some had stripes.
Ours had pink stripes and pink, green and blue from the one at the bottom of the steps in St Peter Port, which I don't think it's there anymore.
There's a sweet shop, isn't there, in West Wickham?
Oh, there is. We've never been there.
We've never been.
No, maybe we should.
Maybe we should. So that was a really enjoyable programme, apart from the adverts every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
But yeah, Rusty Lee was in that, and she is always such good value.
Oh, she's fantastic.
And she was talking about the milk tray adverts and how, the milk tray man would do all of these adventurous things and then sneak into the lady's bedroom as she slept and left the box. And what did she say? He wouldn't be leaving his room if I was there. I do love Rusty Lee. Oh. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
So, we did start the new series of Father Brown on the BBC. Oh, the sweet treat thing was Channel 5.
Channel 5, yeah.
We did start Father Brown, BBC One.
We gave up.
New season, season 12. We'll probably start again. Maybe we weren't in the mood, but it seemed a little bit flat.
I deleted it, so... Yeah.
It seemed flat.
Well, also, Bunty wasn't in it, and the characters that I like, none of them appeared in the first... Well, apart from the Inspector, none of them appeared in the first half an hour or something.
There's no Lady Felicia
Yeah.
anymore. There's no Bunty.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand people move on and do different jobs and aren't always available to film on the schedule, but
you need to replace them with interesting characters, and I think one of the characters is just a bit too much buffoon-like. The character's become a parody of itself now, I think, and I wasn't that.
So we continue with the Great Pottery Throwdown.
Yes, which I'm really enjoying. I think this is the best series yet. But I still, when they say, we'd like you to make a tea set, and it needs to do this, and it needs to be like 16 plates and 16 cups and saucers and a teapot. No, but they say, and then these people, I don't know where they come from, but they say, oh yes, well, I'm going to be doing this tea set, and I'm going to put the essence of my journey into, of climbing Kilimanjaro in there. Or, when I went and walked and swam all the Great Lakes of America, I'm going to put that journey. They all have these amazing lives, and there's you and me sitting down every week doing Sunday chat.
Yeah, because we've chosen that, Paul.
Well, we have, yes, we have. Yes.
You never wanted to do anything exciting.
Didn't I?
No.
Really?
No.
When?
When we had the cats.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, we had cats.
For 10 years, for 20 years of our 31-year relationship, Paul.
Yeah, we had
cats.
We didn't like...
And we had poorly cats.
Yeah, we didn't like other people looking after our cats.
No, so that stopped us from doing quite a lot.
And then there was Mum.
And now... I really... Which takes us neatly on to remembering to do a thank you, which I'd written down at the beginning, to Marina.
Yeah, thank you, Marina.
Thank you. And also the...
Red Carlin Peas. Which is bizarre, Marina, because I was just looking at them online a couple of days ago and thinking, actually, I'm not going to get them. I might put them for future growing. And then you send those and they will be grown this year. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
I've wanted to do Carlin peas for quite a while.
Perfect.
So thank you, Marina.
Perfect.
Muchly thank you.
So, we also watched a new series, a new programme, Two Laughing Lesbians in a Woodland. Well, basically, that's what it was.
Oh, it was. That's our alternate title.
Sandy Toksvik's Great Woodland Restoration. Now, Sandy and this is Channel 4. Sandy and her wife own a
15-acre
woodland. Lucky them. And
they've decided to restore it and are putting a cut through, so a
ride.
Road, a ride through, so that basically more light can get in and that the forest can be more easily managed with trees being cut down and easy access to take the wood away.
Now look, I like Sandy Toksvik, I really do, but what I didn't fully understand is how on earth a couple of lesbians don't know how to operate a chainsaw. Really? Because most of the lesbians I know, if you gave them a piece of equipment like that, they'd say, oh yeah.
Yeah, do it like this.
And they'd whack it into action and they'd be off.
Yeah.
So I didn't fully understand that, but yeah, it was okay. It was
missing it a bit. I wanted to get a bit more in depth about what they were going to be doing.
I felt it could have been more educational.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
There was a couple of educational moments with a little bit of animation.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't
there? But I felt there could have been more of that, and I felt as though Sandy did quite a lot of. I have absolutely no idea about anything. And I kind of thought, well, I thought you were I'd assumed that you were an intelligent woman who probably knew quite a lot already. Being an ambassador for the Woodland Trust already for 15 years.
I think.
How do you not know about woodland management?
Yeah, I think...
I found that was a bit strange.
I think also if you're going to do something like this, you really, read up on it and you research it. And I feel as though she did have more information than... Or maybe they brought the filming forward 6 months or something and they just dived in. I don't know.
That was a bit odd.
Yeah.
But it
we'll
was
watch the
enjoyable.
second episode and yeah.
We have started the series Black Doves on Netflix. Now, I felt it was off to a really good start and I enjoyed the first episode. By the second episode, I was wanting more but wasn't getting more. I was getting pretty much the same being repeated. The same dry lines delivered by Sarah Lancashire, who I like, but I felt, are they gearing her up to play M in a Bond?
I think there was also, well, possibly, that would be good. I think there was also, with Keira Knightley's character, we also went, in the second episode, we go back and find out really where she's from. And we don't yet know about the relationship between Ben Whishaw's character and her character. And I think there's a bit of explaining that is going on at the moment rather than pushing it forward.
I think there's a bit of explaining as to how one becomes so well trained in using guns and fighting.
Well, I think that will be explained. I mean, they are spies and espionage people.
Yeah, but she wasn't a spy.
No, but she was, when she did that interview, they decided to open her up, didn't they? So yeah, to go and see the character.
I know.
Anyway, I think it's well worth it. I'm really enjoying it. He's not quite so much, but I think we will watch the next episode. If he doesn't like it, I'll watch each episode of an evening when he's asleep on the sofa. Yeah. We haven't gone back to Missing You, the Netflix thing. We haven't gone back to that.
No, we haven't. We've started the new... Is it a new series of Dragon's Den?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon's Den, I think, would benefit if they got rid of that plastic-loving woman.
Yeah, you're not a fan of her.
No, I'm not.
No.
She is a plastic lover. Sarah Davies, or Davis, or whatever her name is.
I think that's a lot of crafting, though.
She's a crafter, and
rubbish.
she loves plastic. I don't think that we should be loving plastic in that way anymore. I think crafting should be about natural things, natural ingredients, natural products that will not cost the earth. Because every single bit of plastic that you craft into something else eventually will be discarded, or will break, or will start to break down in some way, shape or form, and will have to be put in the bin and put into landfill. And as we know, a lot of stuff that has gone into landfill over the years eventually finds its way downstream.
Downstream, either literally or metaphorically, certainly.
Because a lot of areas that were landfill are now supposed natural areas now. And very often there are watercourses. So microplastics are leaching out of various
and forever
areas.
Chemicals, which are in plastics, leaching. They're the, microplastics are
they're in ours.
terrible.
Yeah, they're in ours.
Forever chemicals, even
Aren't they?
more so. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're in the human body.
But
now.
going back to Dragon's Den,
I
I think they need a bit of a shake-up of the presenters. Some of them, not presenters, the dragons. Yeah, there needs to be a bit of a shake-up, and there was something that was really, what was that called? That editing, the married couple, Choppity, yeah. Choppity, which is a video editing software, which we sat here and looked at it and thought, oh my God, that is amazing. And then one of the dragons said, oh yeah, so I'm already investing in something like this, so actually I'm not. And it just came across as arrogant, and I don't think I don't want arrogance anymore. No. Yeah. There we are. Yeah. Dragon's Den.
We continue with Digging for Britain, although I did fall
fell asleep. Yeah.
Can't have been that good then. And we also continue during lunch, Heart to Heart.
Yes. Yeah.
It's such a good... I don't really want to concentrate on this programme because I'm eating lunch, but I really need to know what happens in the end.
Yeah. And it's lovely, but I mean, you every single, there's always a bit of sort of sexy talk or double entendre at the end, isn't there? And there's usually some double entendre beforehand as well. The one we were watching, Jonathan said to Max that they're very good at doing things with mirrors. Didn't he?
And she sort of went, Jonathan.
Jonathan.
You alright, Paul?
Yeah.
God.
She does that. She does that in every single programme. There's always...
You're not very good at imitating.
No, I'm not.
Her.
Then will you do it? You do it then.
Oh, Jonathan. Ooh. Anyway, enough. But what we were saying about that time, that era, because Heart to Heart season 1, I think, was 1980. From the sort of 70s into the 80s and I guess into the 90s, there was this sort of golden age of the TV show, the TV series, the action-based based TV series that were massive
Yeah.
and propelled the actors to stardom, to big mega stardom. And, you know, Charlie's Angels, Heart to Heart, The A-Team, God, the Bionic Man, Bionic Woman. There were
Man from Atlantis.
Man from Atlantis, yeah. I mean, a whole raft of programmes, Knight Rider, blah, blah, blah. And it seemed there was a period where there must have been a hell of a lot of money swimming around.
I think there was. Well, there was more. I think this comes down to the expansion of channels, and particularly in America. You know, the expansion of channels in America in the sort of 70s and 80s was pretty considerable, and advertising.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, the expansion was paid for by advertisers, obviously.
So why
and I think the content was needed.
So why then, in today's advert-heavy internet, pardon me, but I do apologise, that berry's coming back up. No, I just had a berry burp. Why then is there no money now, supposedly?
Well, the money is there now, but what has happened is where everybody had to rush to television to watch these, they are watching so many different platforms on so many different devices in so many different ways. So there's been a dilution of eyes watching individual programmes.
Also, there's been a dilution in content creation, whether that's TV shows or whether that's content creators like ourselves doing it from our own homes. There is a massive amount of people doing that. Therefore, the money is spread quite thinly.
Well, yeah, but there's still, I mean, you know, there's still big films that are made and big TV series.
Yeah, but
I mean, I see that Frasier is now big, which we watched. It was on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has said no to it, so they're now shopping around to find another platform, another channel.
Look at what we've got now. I mean, you only have to flick through the channels to see
absolutely.
much content there is.
Yeah.
Whereas when we were kids, there were 3 channels.
But that's what I mean. It's been much more diluted. You know, you could only watch those 3 channels, and everybody watched them.
That's what I mean. But they couldn't make unlimited TV programmes for those 3 channels.
No, but all the budget was going into TV. So much budget was going into TV from the advertisers.
But the appetite of the public was a lot smaller because you knew that's what you were being fed.
Yeah. So
any other involvement in those stars' lives was done through television annuals.
Yeah, or magazines. You see a little bit, you know.
Interview programmes. You know, it was all very narrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Where now it's sort of everywhere.
Wide open.
I did see a piece.
Everywhere, all at
once. There we are. I did see a piece on Jacqueline Smith the other day from Charlie's Angels.
I think she's aged well.
Yeah, she looked amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some people age well, like me. Some people don't, like Richard. Yeah. There we are.
Stephanie Powers, I mean, she's in her 80s.
80s.
Robert Wagner's
90s.
in his 90s.
Mid-90s, yeah.
So, yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And with that, we will now say goodbye.
Yes.
Because it's gone on far too long already.
And he needs to edit this. And we're doing this late on Saturday afternoon.
We're late in the day, hence the darkness.
Which you can't see. But I had a work party this morning, and then we watched Heart to Heart and had lunch, and
I was doing the cleaning this morning and doing a little bit of music.
He had his hot bubblegum pink pants on, short t-shirt, and was dusting everywhere. Yeah.
No, I didn't. That was somebody else, Paul.
Oh, right. I was in somebody else's
house. That was
some
kind of hallucination, I think, that you were having. I think so. Right. Thank you, bloody thank you for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried to think what they've been doing.
And remember, if you want it all, watch Richard and Paul. It's simple.
It's that simple.
It is.
See you next week.
Bye. Watch all
Bye.
the adverts.
Bye.
Make sure you watch the end.
Bye. They might have skipped all the adverts by now.
Click on the adverts as well.
Go back to the beginning
That's
and watch
great.
it again. Yeah, and
Hope you
watch
enjoyed
everything
it.
else.
Don't watch anybody else ever.
Bye.
Bye.